You trim that thing down. All right. We're live.
Live? I don't know when that lamp broke. It's disappointing though.
That is different. That is disappointing. Nice broken lamp.
Did you see the video that I sent you on Instagram?
No, I saw you sent me something, but I didn't get to check it out yet. I was driving home from
It's,
New Carlton.
I gotcha. That was the zoo.
Good. It's good too.
Is Kat still in town?
Yeah, I'm just driving her back. So we're either leaving tomorrow or the day after, depending on how rainy it is.
Gotcha. Oh wait, you start school.
Yeah.
What, next week?
Yeah, the 9th. I know, right? It's weird.
We start the 25th.
That's crazy.
Alright, I'm gonna check audio real quick.
All right, so we should start with last night, right?
Yeah, start with last night and then get into everything else.
All right, do you have our wise picks? I'm going to make sure I have them up. Okay.
Put them on. I guess one of my wise picks is outstanding.
Is outstanding? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. That's all right.
Did not go 1 and 2 this week.
No, you did go. You went. Yeah, you didn't go 1 and 2. You're right. You went 1 and Ron. I got the Jags. I didn't get the Niners, and I didn't get the Panthers. Rip. Right. Well,
Wait. So what did I have? I had
you had the Packers, Bengals, and Jets.
Packers, right? Jets, yeah.
Okay, and then what else was I gonna look at? I'm good to go.
And at the time of stoppage, they were winning.
That is true. But we're not gonna be a Skip Bayless.
Oh, I know. I don't know. Did you watch what he said today?
No, I didn't.
Here, I just saw that he flipped on LeBron, which people are saying is like.
Wait, did he really? He said something about LeBron in his apology.
He was a LeBron fan. He didn't apologize for anything, but he, like, at some point in the show, he was saying how much of a fan he is of LeBron. Like, oh dear.
Jesus.
Try to change the narrative, I guess, from him being a scumbag.
Yeah, honestly. Let me see what you sent me.
I'm not sure if he did. Like, he actually might have meant well by that tweet.
I think he did too.
I can't tell.
I think he did too, to be honest.
I'm trying to make myself fart, dude. It's not like I'm.
What's he eating?
This is gonna give me diarrhea. That's how.
Oh, we'll just wait.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get that up here. So let's do the Bengals Bills, the suspension, and then we'll do our wise picks to our teams.
Okay.
All right. Started. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Happy New Year's, Chris. It's been
Happy New Year.
First pod of the new year. We got to celebrate New Year's together. It was a nice time. It's a good time at Grant's house.
Good quality pal time.
Yeah, it really was. And now we're coming right in 2023. And just to get it, not out of the way, but set it first so we don't have to have it looming over our head while we're talking about football is, prayers up for Damar Hamlin. Hopefully he's doing all right. And I as of now, it is Tuesday at 6 p.m. and there still hasn't been an update or a release from the hospital. So hopefully, they can, hopefully he can get out and they can somehow figure out what to do with this game. But it's not what is important right now, and hopefully he's all right. But
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that we can really say. We don't want to speculate, obviously, with
no,
everything. So
and we don't know
the
anything.
last I heard were his vitals were back to normal, but I know he's still in critical condition. So
Yeah,
it's a good thing that the paramedics were able to get on it that quickly because they might have saved his life.
yeah. Wasn't it the referee that knew CPR, right away?
Oh, was it the
Started
ref?
doing it. I thought that was the refs that, because I know the paramedics came, but I think the refs started it. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't actually watching when it happened, but the fact that the NFL didn't suspend the game immediately, pretty ridiculous.
It is pretty shocking.
It's sickening. The coaches had to do
And it's
it.
like it's right on brand too.
Yeah, no.
It just kind of reminds you that it's like football will press forward.
And
you'd think like this is the circumstance where they would not do that and just call it right away, but
no,
I
they
don't know.
they
Never-
originally
never
told the
changed,
coaches
Roger.
5 minutes each. That's what the NFL is giving.
5 minutes was that was like,
That's
it was almost like it was
ridiculous.
a joke.
It's
All right,
almost
guys, you got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. You guys ready to get back out there? It's like who's gonna?
Alright.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. But luckily the coaches were in the right sense to postpone the game, and they shouldn't have to play that game. Like whatever it matters for the records, for the I think it mattered for the Bengals and if they wanted the 1 seed or the Bills holding the 1 seed, but who cares? It's not what's
Yeah,
important
I mean,
right
Roger,
now.
just eat it.
Yeah,
And if people want to complain about how that outcome would have affected seeding, then let them complain. Like it just doesn't matter. It is funny. Like I heard people say, I think Van Pelt led off Sports Center with one moment sports can be the most important thing in the world, which they often are to us, and then the next minute they don't matter at all. And that's how last night felt.
yeah. It was weird because it was such like a even though I wasn't watching the game at the moment when it happened, I was gonna wait till a little bit later. I was watching something else with my family, but it took over the night almost, where it's like
Mhm.
everyone, even if you're not watching sports or if you don't like sports, like my mom she asked my dad right before we started this, like, hey, is there any word
Yeah.
on Damar and stuff like this? So it means more. It means more than the sport that's actually being played. So, but anyways, that being said, let's move on to some happier sides of football. The football we actually did get to finish out and watch, and nobody did get any hurt like that. But let's go into it. Wise picks.
Mine's not happy.
Yeah, no, it's yours. Yours is rough. I was thinking about. We'll get to you when we talk about the Commanders, but let's get into the wise picks first. And I guess we didn't get to rationalize these picks on air, so we couldn't agree or disagree. But number one I had was the Jags -3.5. The Jacksonville Jaguars have been on a tear recently, and they have the chance to win the division this week. So they're playing like they deserve that 4 seed.
Yeah, I mean they're legitimately one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I'd like to take this moment to complain that Doug Peterson isn't even in the conversation for Coach of the Year, and it's not just because I have the future on it, but I mean there's few teams that have seen a turnaround like them. Like the Lions went from 3-14 or whatever to now in the playoff conversation, but they're probably gonna miss the playoffs. Jags number 1 pick 2 years in a row. They're going to win the division if they beat Tennessee. And poor Doug, he's done an amazing job. He's turned Trevor Lawrence's career around, and he's 5th or 6th in the Coach of the Year standings. Get Brian Dable out of here.
And going into the Raiders game, they were 2-6. So they
Yeah.
started, and now they're 8-8. They've been, as you said, the hottest team in the NFL really right now. They've like it's and when they play really well, they can blow out the teams that they're playing against. And you're right, Doug should be in that conversation, and not just because of our bias and our money, but and it's not like he should win it. I still don't think he should win it, but he should be in the
Who
conversation.
should?
I don't know.
Sirianni?
You said get Daval out of here, but I don't know. Daval's a good coach. This Giants team has
He is
no
a good
business
coach,
being
but
there.
the turnaround, like the Jags, I feel like have been more impressive than the Giants have been, even if they have a worse record.
I agree, and it's because the Giants started out hotter than they ended.
Mhm.
I think that, and then that, I mean, that has something to do with it. But the fact that they were 2 weeks out and clinched the playoffs, it's pretty impressive. Actually, I guess it was this week that they clinched it officially. But all right, you're right. It was a couple weeks that they were worried from it, but they did clinch the playoffs. They're in it, and this team has no business being in there. And they're almost a team that, not that I wouldn't want to play, but I'm not. This isn't a rollover team.
The Giants or the Jags?
I think both, but the Giants.
I would not be scared of the Giants at all.
If
So if we're looking at it now, they're the 6th, right?
yeah,
Which means they would go to the 3. Oh,
Mhm.
which is probably gonna be Minnesota.
which is going to be Minnesota, which they
yeah.
lost by
But Minnesota,
4.
like, they don't want to play anybody. So
Yeah,
it's all-
Minnesota's the team that other teams are looking to want to play in the first round.
Right, yeah. So they actually have the perfect spot.
It,
'Cause I think I'd rather go to Minnesota than Tampa. I think
yeah.
just because of the Brady factor.
Oh, definitely. I would much rather go to Minnesota. You're facing Kirk Cousins in the playoffs over Tom Brady. That's an
Right,
easy.
yeah.
That's an easy trade off for me. I don't know. They're. It's not like they're a crazy good team, and but they always make the other team play down to their competition.
I guess. I mean, they've had like the Eagles game was a monstrosity.
Yeah,
Both
The
Cowboys-
Lions
well, actually,
game.
the first Cowboys game was close.
the Lions game was pretty bad.
Lions game was bad, and the second Dallas game on Thanksgiving was bad. So, like, they haven't really beaten anyone good. I think they've just kind of taken advantage of.
They had an easy schedule.
They did have an easy schedule, and I don't want to not give any credit to Dable because no one expected them to be in the playoffs,
Mhm.
much less clinch 2 weeks out. But
I
I'm
just think.
saying.
I just think it's crazy. Richie James, Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodges. These are the guys. Daniel Jones. Like, this is the guy that he's working with on offense, and he's making it work.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, kudos to them, I guess.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting though, because Sirianni had the coach of the year locked up pretty much the whole year,
Mhm.
and this past couple weeks, it's kind of fallen out of his grasp. Like, they could lose the 1 seed, and
Right.
theoretically, like, if Hurts isn't back next week, who do they have? They have the Giants, which
It's
the Giants,
yeah.
they're gonna. It's gonna be interesting if they rest their starters or not. But
The Eagles right now are 14-point favorites in that game.
so they're thinking that they're gonna
which I
rest the
think is
starters.
It's got to be.
But this is the
It's
NFC
in
beast.
Philly too. Yeah, I know.
Like, this should be. If I'm Dayball, it's like, oh, screw these guys. You think they want to
Yeah,
like?
right.
And I don't know. Maybe
You don't
maybe
need
they
a
get
rest
slashed
for
anyways.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I don't think they do need a. They don't. I don't think they need a rest for Kirk Cousins. They should be amped up, be ready to go. I always hate the like the resting the last week. It's like that, and then I
That's
feel like
'cause Belichick never did it.
nah. I feel like yeah. I feel like I'm on team rust. Rust over rest. There's rust there. Come on now.
I disagree.
Well,
I mean, think about how important the 1 seed is.
that's true. And yeah.
Maybe in other sports, like in baseball, I would not want to rest. But in football, like,
Get all the rest you can.
you have guys that are banged up that a full week of rest is going to help out a lot.
That's fair. Well, then maybe they do bench their starters and the Eagles get the 1 seed anyways. But still, Sirianni, I mean, he was so dominant the whole season. Now, ending off the year, they lost I guess they were close, but the last 2 games without. It's funny.
Yeah.
We were talking about before went away for a little break was that this was Minshew's, like, he's gonna come out here and this is like Jalen Hurts, is he actually the MVP? And he answered the question. Minshew sucks.
Mhm.
Not everyone can be good back there. So
Yeah.
I think Jalen Hurts, even though he missed 2 games, which suck, like I think that hurts him a lot. Hurts him. But
Good one.
yeah, thanks. But
I
I
think
think
Mahomes would still have the better numbers though.
that's the thing. With the 17 games, he's gonna have better numbers. He's gonna have more touchdown totals. And week in and week out, he's just been doing he hasn't been covering, because God forbid. But
Mhm.
he's been doing these great plays and just Hurts, if he finished out the season, it would have been I feel like would have been MVP favorite or lock.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely would have been interesting, but it is crazy how like missing 2 games has knocked him way out of the favorites.
That's just what it does. Because when Mahomes is doing stuff like this week in and week out, and Josh Allen is doing stuff week in and week out, it's just it it's too you can't lose 2 weeks, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
All right, we're losing track.
We got
We were talking
really
about the
sidetracked
Jags.
there.
Yeah, we were talking about the Jags. Anyways,
Uh,
Jags took care of
tank is
business.
on. Things are.
What'd you
They
say?
want no business. The tank is like they now have a chance to not get the #1 pick because the Bears are only a game back, so
Oh,
they
Yeah.
are not winning these last 2 weeks.
no, not at all.
Deliberate tank was on this week, I think.
No, and it's funny. That's why it's like the Bears. The Bears got stomped. I didn't even realize it was this bad of a score. But
Yeah.
Bears fans going in like, oh, like let's try to knock out the Lions. Like, you don't want to win. You want to keep
No,
losing.
you
You
don't
want to
wanna
get
win
you
at
can
all.
get the one pick.
Let Fields continue to look good.
He did not look
Torn
good
apart
this
on
game.
defense.
He
No,
ran. He could
none of
run
them were
it,
good.
but he was garbage throwing it. But anywho, you had the Packers -3. That was your first pick.
Easiest pick of the year.
They're back.
They're so back.
It's funny at
I
the
would
end of the
not wanna see
season.
them in the playoffs.
Like a couple
'cause
weeks
this
ago.
is good defense too.
Yeah, that a couple weeks ago, it's like they're dead out of the water. Tampa Bay's dead. Now they're both creeping in the playoffs, and it's almost
Mhm.
like this perfect NFL playoffs where there's just the lingering old heads just in the
Yep.
background. Like, hey, don't forget about them. They might be, they might be a 7th seed and a 4th seed, but don't forget about them. They're back there.
That's the issue with the Packers is that they'll have to go to San Francisco.
Who cares? I mean, they get Lambeau every other year at home for the
I
NFC
guess, and they don't
Championship,
win.
and they don't win. So
And it's a revenge game because the 49ers beat them at home last year.
and
Brock Purdy versus Aaron Rodgers.
it writes itself.
That's all. Kyle Shanahan in the playoffs.
Yeah, it
Ugh,
writes itself. The
like that.
it's like it's gonna be interesting if it's like all of a sudden the NFC Championship game, the Packers Bucks.
Right, yeah.
All right.
I
So they
think
took
the
care of
Vikings are
business,
the
though.
team that I'm like most confident in to not win the Super Bowl.
I'm so
I know they're
excited to
gonna
bet
end up being
against
the
them.
3 seed.
So
And I
like
feel bad because like I like Kirk, I like Jefferson, I like Minnesota. They're nice people.
and I also hate I
But-
hate when everyone's always like frauds, and like this is like the easiest
Yeah.
one where it's like it's not even fun to like yell frauds at them anymore because it's like they are
No,
just
they
kind of bad.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not even good.
like they're really not even that good.
well.
They beat the Bills, which was
No.
great. They killed my Pats team, but that Pats team isn't good. Like there's just
There was weird stuff
point-
in that game.
the whole point differential is just it's too much for me to
They're a
look
500
past
team.
anymore. Yeah, and if it's like if one score games were flipped, they'd win like 2 games.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty wild. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, Vikings fans.
Yeah, who cares? They know they weren't going to win it anyways.
Yeah.
All right. I had the Niners, which was actually the most exciting game of the week. It was my boy, Jarrett Stidham, the prince who was promised, the one that got away. He
Tried it. It didn't work.
no, he never started. I don't think he ever started. Because this is his first career start. He played in
It
the
was? I thought he did start.
he played in the Chiefs game where Brian Hoyer got injured because for some reason we started Hoyer
Right.
instead of Stidham.
It was terrible.
Yeah, and then after that, I'm pretty sure Cam came back and Stidham never started.
Okay.
So hey, McDaniel's boy, McDaniel's absolutely loves him. He goes 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and man, they had a game. He had a game to take this 49ers team to overtime that has been playing out of their minds, and the defense has been playing out of their minds, and put up those type of numbers. Weird. It's just a weird stat line, and
With an outside chance at the playoffs going into this game,
oh yeah, yeah. This game meant something to them.
season on the line.
Mm-hmm. It's such a
They're
weird.
a weird team.
Yeah, they really are. It was ugly just looking at the bottom where it said 6-9 and that they can make the playoffs somehow
Yeah.
in a wild chance. It's like that shouldn't be possible. And
Or the fact that they're 6-9 and they're going toe to toe with the actual hottest team in the NFL right now.
yeah, and the
It's like,
Niners.
where did things go wrong? Because they do have games like this where they actually look like a competent football team.
And clearly they're still playing for. It's not like they're not playing for McDaniels, and all this hubbub about Devontae Adams. He was like on Instagram, like, "Oh, Derek Carr's my guy. Derek Carr's my guy." He has one of his best games of his career in this this week. So, maybe not his career. You got to look at the numbers, but as a Raider this season so far, it's one of his
Mhm.
best games. So I don't know, and it's funny because it's like all these rumors about where Carr is gonna go, where's Carr gonna go, and then Stidham comes in and looks 5 times better than Carr's looked all
I think
season.
Carr has all season.
Yeah,
So is the Carr thing like a guarantee? Is he out?
he's got to be. They benched him, and he's
He
gone.
left. He did the Mariota.
Yes, he did left. He did what we thought Mariota was gonna do, and just dipped.
Yeah.
Wasn't on the sideline. He had the worst. It's probably one of the worst days of his career, and he didn't even play.
Yeah.
Because think about it, his trade stock
There's no
plummeted.
coming back
Nobody,
from that.
yeah, and nobody's like now itching to get him. I don't think. I'm sure. Like there's the rumors about the
The Colts
Jets.
are.
The Colts can't wait. They can't wait to get their hands on him.
Licking their lips.
He might be a little too young, honestly.
He might be. Well, he's in Wentz age.
Oh, he's
range,
31.
I think.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's
Ah,
right
that's
there.
perfect.
Yeah, he's ripe for the Colts. But like the
Mercer just
Jets,
ordered a custom jersey of him.
they're saying the Jets and like the Pats, like I would cry.
I could see.
What on
The
the Pats?
like, how much better is he than Mac?
I don't even know how much better he is than Mac. I'm still lost on Mac. We'll get to them when we talk
Mac
about the
is,
Pats.
I think I've
he's
figured
an
Mac
enigma.
out.
Okay, I'm
It's
excited to
Daniel
hear it.
Jones.
Oh God, but Daniel Jones has gotten better. Apparently,
Has he?
I don't know. I can't tell. His stats are fine this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I figured him out. I haven't figured him.
No, because
He's
we
not
still
very
haven't
good,
figured out Daniel Jones.
But like 3 years from now, you're also going to be thinking the same thing. Like, well, he can win us some games, and he's not the worst.
No, and he makes
good,
really
right?
good throws.
Yeah, sometimes.
Ugh. All right, well, we'll get to that later. Well, let's finish off the wise picks. Didn't get that one. Overtime game was great though. What was the Devontae Adams catch that got him to break the Raiders single season receiving record? Jesus. That was definitely not a catch. There's no way in hell that was a catch.
It wasn't?
There's no way. They definitely touched the ground. They were viewing it. The issue was that there wasn't enough of a camera angle to overturn it. I get why they said the
Right.
ruling, but if they called it incomplete and then had to look at it to see if it was a completion, there's no way that.
I mean, there's a lot of plays like that.
Yeah, it's
Where you're basically just banking on the
No, the
initial call
NFL
of the
doesn't
ref
know.
because you don't have that camera angle.
the worst is when they don't call it on touchdowns. They're like, "Oh, no touchdown."
Mhm.
It's like just call the touchdown. You got to review it anyways. Like, there's
Yeah.
no point in not calling it. So
Yeah.
the NFL hasn't been able to figure out a catch in years. So this is no
never.
different. And Brock gets it done with adversity. Put the defense on his back. Carried it.
You know that the teams are like 0-14 this season after playing against the 49ers?
I actually did hear that. I think they just get beat up so much that week.
Yeah, that's a pretty ridiculous stat.
And it's gonna end if that stat's still going on. I mean, the Raiders have nothing to play for. Who do they got?
Yeah,
They got
no,
the
they
Chiefs.
play the
I guess the
Chiefs.
Chiefs have nothing to play for you. Actually, no, they do. They can get the 1 seed. So they're
Yeah.
gonna get creamed. Lock it in. They're getting creamed. All right, Chris, you had the Bengals up next as your next pick. Well, it hasn't been resulted yet, so we're just leaving that as nothing. And the Jets, we'll go there.
I thought the Seahawks were toast, and I thought the Jets, without Zach Wilson, are actually a pretty good football team, and I was just wrong. But what I didn't consider is it was a Geno revenge game.
He completed the revenge tour,
Yeah, so
which I didn't
how
realize
did
he was
not
on the
think about
Chargers.
that?
Did you ever know that he was on the Chargers? No idea.
Did not know that. I
No,
knew he was on
Mike
the
White,
Giants 'cause he started over Eli
Yes.
when McAdoo was the coach.
Yep. And they broke Eli's streak and everyone lost their mind.
Yeah, right.
Mike White
That was pretty hilarious.
fell back to earth.
Yep.
Kinda
So
how-
we kind of called this one, and it just took a little bit.
Yeah, this one was
But
just like a
It's just like there's like an enigma with, like, wait, not an enigma, but like something that just draws me to him every week that he plays. And it's like I don't know what it is. It's because he had the one good game. And he did it again this year, so you just like you hear Mike White, you're like, oh, he's actually pretty good. He's not.
No, this is like what I was trying to talk about with Stidham. Like he's gonna have
Mhm.
the Stidham's gonna have the game. He has the 3 touchdowns, the 350 yards, and then eventually he will fall back down to where he belongs as Jared
Yeah,
Stidham.
like let's not get too excited.
So as much as and Mike White was such a great story. He's asking 15 doctors if he can play. Maybe his ribs are just
Mhm.
shattered. Like that's a very good possibility that his ribs are just absolutely shattered. But they could get nothing done all game, and it really wasn't close at all.
No, it wasn't. And this was not a typical Seahawks game either, where like the defense shut them down. Usually it's just like a shootout.
Yeah, it was. Did you see Geno Smith giving advice to a young Zach Wilson? He's just
What did he
saying,
say?
I don't. It doesn't say. He's whispering it to him, but I'm guessing it's along the
Oh,
lines of,
okay.
"Hey kid, just get the hell out of the Jets.
Yeah,
Get out of New
right.
York. You
Don't
can't.
punch any guys in the jaw.
Yeah, it just
Or
won't.
no, he got punched in the jaw.
It just won't happen in New York." That's what he's telling him.
No.
He probably told
Yeah.
Darnold the same stuff. And speaking of which, Darnold and the Panthers plus 3.5.
Break.
This one was a heartbreak.
But like it's also kind of the perfect scenario for the Panthers. Like if you win the division, what do you get out of it? You get a playoff appearance, you get a worse draft pick, a harder schedule next year. It just makes things harder in the long run.
It's a good silver lining.
Yeah.
I'm sure Panthers fans would appreciate that. They got torched. Absolutely torched.
I thought that these cornerbacks were good too.
No, they got
They're not.
torched. I mean, Mike Evans, 10 catches, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. That stat alone should just tell you everything about the game. I mean, Chris Godwin,
Mike Evans has 6 touchdowns this year.
3 of them were in this game.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin, 9 catches, 120 yards. Then that's nothing else matters. They had no running game again. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And
So-
Brady he's too old to turn over the ball. He just won't do it. Let's
Yeah.
throw it out of bounds before he turns over the ball.
2 things. First
Okay.
of all, are we gonna let the Bucks back mentally?
That's a
Like, are we
question
gonna
for
say
for
maybe
you.
there's a chance?
I think
I feel like
There-
I have to.
the only thing the team stinks. The team's not very good. It's not very well coached. They have no running game. But when it comes to January football,
Mhm.
you don't want to be lined up against Tom Brady.
And the
we've-
defense is good. They don't
We've seen it
stink.
time and time again. I mean, I can't even tell if they stink or not. There's games that they stink, and there's games that they're really good. But I mean, it's
Go
been
look up
recently.
defensive
It's been all
rankings.
right. And
I know the numbers don't tell you everything, but
it's true. Numbers do not tell you everything.
I don't know how these teams are ranked, but they are ninth in something. Oh, in points, they're tied for 8th.
Okay,
So, I mean,
that's not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's top 10
9th in
defense.
passing yards, 8th in yards total.
So is this your Super Bowl picks not dead? Take.
No, I was wishing that you would just tell me, no, they're done. Like one game
You
against
want-
this not good team. Does not
Okay,
change
I can tell you
anything.
that. One game against
Alright.
Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers should not change anything that we've seen in the
Okay,
past.
so we're writing off Tom Brady. We're comfortable doing that.
That they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think
They
so.
will not
They
win.
barely
Okay.
they can't score until the fourth quarter. And in the playoffs, eventually the magic runs out. It literally
Right.
like they cannot score until it's the fourth quarter. Until the game there is about to be lost. They can't score. This on the other side, it would put fear in my eyes.
I
How
know.
could you? But I'm writing them off still. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
The second thing is Sam Darnold is not your guy.
No.
Panthers. He's not your guy.
No.
I don't care how good he's looked the last few weeks. Just law of large numbers. The larger sample size says that he's not very good. Please go get a quarterback and do not commit. Actually, I don't want them to get a quarterback because that's just one more team.
They deserve Sam Darnold.
Like,
Honestly, there's no reason why you can't, have both. Why you can if they want Darnold, that's what they're really asking for. I'd be advised against it. But if that's from what we've seen, a lot of Panthers fans have been asking for. If you can sign him to like next to nothing,
Mhm.
and then you actually go get a real quarterback option. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep him as a backup. But he
I
cannot
mean,
be
that's fine.
the guy coming
Go,
in.
please get somebody else.
I know. And it's like the game like that
For
is
our
intoxicating. It's what my problem is Mac Jones. When it's your quarterback and it's like he has the one good game, you're just like, still young.
All it takes, yeah. Haskins was like that.
Mm-hmm.
Had one good game.
It's all
Maybe
that matters.
two.
It's like, there's something you can build off of. What you
Yeah.
need.
So
All right.
let's
Well,
not
speaking of
forget the larger sample size.
Haskins and the Commanders, you guys dug your own grave this week.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, the Wentz stuff, like, at the end of the day, it's probably for the best because now you know that it's very clearly a failure and that you can't possibly bring him back. There's no wiggle room there. Like, oh, he looked good. Like, maybe we run it back with him. There's no chance that happens at this point. I would hope. You can cut him for nothing.
If anyone knows anything about football if anyone watched the game on Sunday, he should have been pulled in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone knows anything in that front office, which is very slim, there's no way that he will be starting quarterback of any team in the National Football League come next year. It's not possible.
He showed the arm talent, but every time he chucked it down the field, it was an interception.
Yeah, it went right to the other team.
Who cares about the arm talent? He's a bozo.
Yeah.
I honestly feel bad for him, though. Like, he seems like a nice enough guy. Maybe a little bit of a turd in the locker room. But, like, I don't know. He gets booed a lot, and
he ruined Major Tutty's. He ruined Major Tutty's intro.
That's a whole. There's a lot. I should have made a list of things that I should address. But that's the first thing, is that Wentz, at least he's done. The second thing is he's not the only reason they lost. Like, they got dashed on defense in the second half, and they did have a lot of guys out. But for a team that prides himself on defense, just completely fall apart the last few weeks of the season. for the second year in a row is unacceptable from a coaching standpoint. Because last year it was the same thing happened. They lost 4 games down the stretch. I think they were 6-6, and then they dropped 4 in a row. This year they were 7-5-1,
Yeah,
and then
7-5-1.
4 straight winless games. So they had the playoffs were in their lap. All they had to do was beat the Giants once, and then they were looking pretty.
Now they're eliminated.
Now they're eliminated. Yeah, It's the
All in like a
beauty.
I was sitting there and I was watching. I was just like, damn. Like I remember the podcast talking about like I was now my Pats are somehow still in it, and I've wanted them out for the past 5 weeks.
Mhm.
And
So it honestly is kind of refreshing that it's like, all right, well now we can start looking forward to the off season.
which is a major,
off season
very
is
important
the
offseason.
most exciting part of this team because you might have a new owner.
Yeah.
But so we can get into like we're gonna have all off season to talk about what they should be doing. But I don't think Ron gets fired.
Oh, really?
Because Snyder would have to eat that money. So like maybe
And he's not going to do that. Not to betterment the
don't-
team.
yeah. Well, I don't think the new owner that comes in would have the time to fire the coach unless they sold the team like today.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you might as there's really nothing you can do other than ride it out with him. And literally all they have to do is find a quarterback. That's all they have to do. Everything else is the line is kind of a mess right now, but a good quarterback with a not great offensive line is still a good quarterback. But get Carson out of my face. Give me Sam Howell next week, please. I don't care if he's ready or not. Just see what he can do.
It's literally a preseason game. The game does not matter.
Yeah,
just throw in.
No, it doesn't matter at all. And I don't care that the Cowboys are our rival.
Yeah, and what? Wentz is going to give you a better position to upset them? That's not happening.
Unless the thinking is Wentz is so bad that you're guaranteed to lose and get a better draft pick. But I would still rather see what Howell can do.
No, because then at least
he's ready or not.
If
he looks terrible, that's fine. Then you know that he's not the answer now. Maybe he needs 2 more years of development or something. And if he looks good, then I don't know. It's one game, but at least you can be excited about something and say, well, we have one guy who we know is going to compete for the job.
Yeah, no, Howell has to be the answer. If it's not the answer, then it's a wasted game.
They're just so stubborn.
Yeah, they are.
Like Ron is the most,
and they don't have
on the planet.
They don't have the intent, like the ethos to be that stubborn. They don't have the It's not like it's worked. Like it's not like the Steelers are stubborn, but it's worked. Like
Right.
That's what they're like.
He's had like 2 winning seasons.
Yeah.
So.
I
don't know, and I do like Ron. It's just
I like Ron too.
Back-to-back years when you collapse like this down the stretch, and when you put all your eggs in the Wentz basket and it doesn't work, like that's tough to come back from.
So he didn't know that he was eliminated. What did he say about that?
They asked him if they would be eliminated later in the day by a Green Bay win, which obviously ended up happening. Would Howell be in consideration? And he was like, "You could be eliminated." And the reporter was like, "Yeah, if the Packers win." He's like, "Oh well, we'll see." That doesn't bother me.
No, the thing that people aren't realizing is that he's just focused on winning the game. He's not focused on other alternatives of what would happen if we lost. He was just focused on winning the game.
And that's what he said today. He was like, "Look, like I made a gaffe, I guess, but I didn't think that we were going to lose. Like I was planning to win and then play on Sunday night next week." So I don't know why people care so much. Like he's not expecting to lose, and
they just want to look for something to rip into him, you know?
Yeah, and there's plenty to rip into them for. But it should be the Wentz decision and just the collapse of the team that he should be ripped for. The press conference.
All right. Well, on the brighter side of things, let's talk about Major Tutty.
It does suck that his introduction to the world was on such a poopy day.
Yeah, absolutely
Why
terrible.
didn't they do it against the Giants?
I don't
It still would
know.
have been poopy, but like, been
At least it
Sunday
would have been
night.
Sunday
At
night.
least there would have been a buzz in the stadium.
Yeah.
So, and everyone hates him. And I think it's because they're bad. Like he's the funny pig, but no one wants to see a funny pig when your season ends.
When your season
So
just
it doesn't
is
make
over.
sense why they did it this day.
Why so late in the
Why didn't they
season?
run him out? I don't know. Why didn't they like wait till summer?
Yeah, you're already this far in. But if you don't like Major Tutty, you're a major loser.
I know. It
You,
doesn't, like, why'd you not like him?
it's part of the team's culture. It's like has something to do with the team's culture, and it's a freaking mascot. Like they're supposed to be fun.
He's literally a mascot. He's a pig that wears a helmet and a football jersey. That's one thing. He needs a better shirt.
Yeah, he needs a
He
jersey
wears a
on.
white shirt that says Commander. Get that man a jersey.
Yeah, it looks like he bought that at Dick's.
Yeah, so that was one thing. Not even Dick's, like Kohl's.
Yeah.
So that's my one complaint about Major Tutty. Other than that, and they nailed the name. Major Tutty.
Major Tutty's a great
so
name.
good.
An absolutely great name.
So good. It's like G-Wiz level of genius.
Yeah, it really is.
So I don't. If you're complaining about Major Tutty, you're complaining about the wrong thing.
And also, what else did you want? Like another stupid monster? Like as much as we like Gritty, he's just another stupid monster.
When everyone hated Gritty when he first came
Yeah,
out.
that's true. Because he was another stupid monster. So now they give you something that's
Yeah.
different, and people don't like it still. And it's really not even that different than anything else. It's a mascot.
Yeah. So give me a break with the Major Tutty stuff. I like him. I think he's cute.
Yeah, I'm a major fan of
I want
Major
a
Tutty.
picture. I want a T-shirt with just his face on it.
That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Is there a political card? Is this a political cartoon? It is, of Major Tutty. Him comparing him to some guy named Jerry Nadler. It's probably because it's talking about hog-like creatures working in DC. It's probably some politician that I don't know. But
Yeah, New York.
he's already hitting the political cartoons. He's gonna be in the history books one day. Major Tutty.
For him. Oh, this guy does look like a.
All right. Can I go up north, go to New England? Or do you have one more
Yeah,
thing?
I figured everything out.
Sweet. I mean, now they're in. I don't even know if I want my team to make the playoffs. It's such a weird. Like we've already won 8 games. We might as well finish it off and win 9 and try to do something in the playoffs. But we're just gonna be so bad in the playoffs. Like we're just gonna be the team that
We're gonna have
everyone
to go to Buffalo.
again. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to Buffalo back-to-back weeks and just get our ass whooped. And like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, if they get the 2 seed, we play them immediately the next week if we win. And it's like, first of all, I don't. Are we gonna win? I don't think so.
No, you're not.
Maybe if the Bills don't get the 1 seed, or if they do get the 1 seed and they rest everybody, but they're not. If they want the game, they're gonna take it. And the
Well,
Pats.
what's the situation? If you win, are you in, or do you need?
Yeah, no. If we win, we're in. But if we lose, the Dolphins and the Steelers lose, we're also in.
Oh, okay.
So we can lose and still go in, which
That would be the worst.
yeah, I really would. It's just like let this team die. Like let us die. Right now, we are like we're gonna go. If we lose this game, we can get like the 15th pick. Right now we're at like the 22nd. That's like 7 spots that I don't need just for a ass beating in the wild card round.
For the second year in a row.
Yeah, for the second year in a row, another perfect game against us. Just God, I don't know. I don't want them to lose, but I also don't really care if they win. So, that's my
Tough spot
analysis.
to be in.
Yeah, and I still don't know if Mac's any good. He had some good balls today, and then he had some other plays where he was terrible. Ramondre has costed us 2 games, but is our best offensive player. Um, and
You
this
said that he was mid.
he's mid amongst he's mid that produces on a overall below average team.
I see.
So it makes people think that he's a better running back than he actually is. What? Sound
Siri
like
thought that I was talking to her.
oh, get out of here, Siri.
Oh,
Nobody's ever
I didn't
talking to
get
you.
that.
Well, what I was saying is, because he's the best player on such a mediocre team, everyone thinks that he's way better than he actually is. When he's just an average
That's
running back.
fair.
He's an average running back on a below average offense, so everyone loses their mind about him. He had some good plays this week though, and Taquan Thornton's getting into his own. They got him a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne still has no targets, even though he had 150 yards the week before. It's just such a weird team that I want to see with an actual offensive coordinator. But the defense, I guess the defense is for real. It just
Mhm.
so they've had 4 games in a
Been
row.
consistently good.
Yeah, and 4 games in a row with a
Defensively.
touchdown. It's pretty. I mean, that's something.
Wasn't there a stat where like the Patriots special teams has scored more than
Yes,
offense?
their special teams and defense have scored more than the
Defense.
offense if you count the field goals as special teams and not offense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty rough stat. But
Yeah.
get him an offensive coordinator, get him a big weapon, and continue drafting good corners, and I think we'd be fine. But I don't know.
There's
the
reason for
playoffs this year.
hope.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. But this playoffs this year, there's no hope with that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And like you've said it before, like you need a stud.
Yeah, you need a stud receiver. You
offense.
can't just have a bunch of mediocre receivers. You need a stud guy. All right. Other games that happened this weekend. A lot of games I didn't care about at all. I mean, Cardinals Falcons didn't give a crap about.
That one doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Saints Eagles really didn't even matter either. I guess it matters because the
That
Eagles
does.
lost, but if they take care of
Now-
business
yeah,
next
that
week,
game matters.
yeah, but if they
Now
take
have
care
to
of business,
play all their guys.
yeah,
I
we
guess
already
they have
talked
the
about
bye
this.
coming
The
up,
Giant
too.
and the Giants.
Dallas doesn't rest now.
That's true. I guess it matters for that, but
I would expect them to take care of the Giants, but
yeah, that's really what I was getting at.
NFC Beast, you never know.
Giants, we already talked, just destroyed the Colts. Broncos Chiefs was actually a 3-point game, which was surprising because the
Yeah.
Chiefs can't cover whatsoever.
So, okay, I actually did want to talk about this. Russ, did you see the post game?
I did not see the post game.
I think I'm back on Russ.
You're back in on him?
He's another one. I was feeling very empathetic this weekend, and like him talking. Did you see the whole Twitter stuff that like a bunch of his teammates were defending
Yeah.
him? There was
Yeah.
it was some like Barstool article. I don't know why that was the one. I'm sure there were other articles they could have picked, but
No, I saw that.
he was talking post game about how much it meant to him that his teammates had his back, and he started tearing up, and he's like, "Cause I'm just giving it my all, like every week. That's all I know how to do." And he actually said it was very well said. I was like, you know what? I kind of feel bad for making fun of the guy.
I felt bad for him
He's a
too.
weirdo dork, but I mean, he's been dragged through the mud this year.
The worst was on we didn't get even talked about it on Christmas Day, where Patrick Starr is commentating his interceptions and saying that Russ can't cook. Like he got dragged. That was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen an professional NFL player
Yeah,
that was
the
once
low
respected.
blow. Yeah.
Have to go through. That's the rock bottom.
So I will be pulling for Russell Wilson next year.
I was pulling
I
for him
hope-
too. I hope it works out.
I really do. I really do.
I
Now
started
just
feeling
feel
bad for him too. Yeah. Like through the season when it was like all the sideline stuff where it's like, oh, like everyone's yelling at him on the sidelines and stuff. I was
I know.
like, come on. Like seriously. Like I know, and he's been bad. He hasn't been good.
Well, and it doesn't like it's not only that he's been bad, it's that he's the cringiest person on the planet.
Yeah.
So like that doesn't help, but I mean he's a nice guy.
He's Mr. Unlimited.
That's how I started feeling with Wentz. It was the same. It was like
Wentz is. It's
He's
funny, but
trying.
Wentz doesn't have Russ.
His teammates are not going to bat. for
No,
him.
that's the thing.
difference.
Yeah, and Wentz, it doesn't feel like he does give it his all. He's just out there just slinging it.
He doesn't look
like-
like he tried. Well, he showed emotion at the end of the first half when he scored the touchdown. He was really fired up, and I was like, "Oh,
Uh-oh.
something clicked in there."
Fired
that
up.
big old head of his, but no, it didn't. Terrible.
Oh well. Well,
But that was my Russ take.
Yeah, I feel
glad
bad
that
for
he
him,
played
too.
well, and
Yeah.
I hope that they find the road coach and they can turn this thing around.
all right. So Chiefs didn't cover like normal. Other game. I mean, Jags Titans we
Ravens,
talked about.
Steelers.
Lions Bears was nothing. So I guess Ravens Steelers was the last thing. Sunday night snooze fest. But
Yeah, what
I'm-
you expect?
I'm all no. I didn't expect anything different. I'm all in on Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I like Kenny.
It's like it feels like this is the same freaking game they play every week.
No, and they're gonna make the
Where they go
playoffs.
down at the end of the game and they score to win.
I hope they kick
Literally
the
the
Pats out of
same
the
game.
playoffs. I just want to see him in the playoffs get and better their team than my team get whooped in the first round. And it's funny because it's like it almost
I
looks
don't know
like
if they will.
he's already vintage Big Ben.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's like
it's like he's all
Benjamin Buttons.
yeah. It's like he's the 45-year-old version of Big Ben already. That's where he's at. And I love his helmet. He has the helmet without the face mask on, or like the top doesn't have the face mask, just a visor. And it looks
Right.
he looks sick. 2 gloves.
Yeah,
I like
it
him.
looks yeah. 2 gloves. Oh, well, of course you like 2 gloves.
Yeah, I'm all for 2 gloves. 2 gloves didn't have a good game against the Pats though. He also
And I forgot to
concussed.
mention that can he ever just finish a game and not get hurt?
no, it's not
It's
possible.
about feeling bad for somebody.
Talk about Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass. Yeah.
He is the definition of Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
He
I
did you
forget
see
who
that
as well.
him getting
Throw him in
stiff armed?
the empathy pile.
Yeah, we should make another tier ranking at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Empathy tier. Did you see him getting stiff armed? Like Kyle Duggar, just like boosh, just falcon punch. He falcon punched him
That
in
was
the
like
face.
all the anger from the last week of the Mac, just getting pummeled by Chandler Jones.
Yeah, it was revenge. He got shoved to the ground. Oh, but anyways, this game, I mean, you could have what we called a couple weeks ago that it was going to be 16-13 the first time they played, and then again
Mm.
now it happened twice in a row. Only a different team won.
Yeah.
It's the same time.
I
Every
mean,
time.
yeah.
And
Th-
Huntley,
this
the
whole
Ravens.
division outside of the Bengals.
It's
Like,
funny
the Steelers
seeing.
Browns games will be the same thing next week.
Oh, Steelers Browns. Yeah, they're always the same too. What I love seeing is the Twitter fans of the Ravens, just like they're losing it.
In shambles.
No, they are in absolute shambles.
and you don't know what's going on with Lamar.
Nope.
I might be holding out right now.
There's no way, and like, God, we say it every week. We name their receivers. It gets worse and worse somehow. Their wide receivers today
Same, man.
combined for 2 catches and 18 yards
Mm.
in an NFL game.
It's like freaking Army Navy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Their total is lower than Army Navy every week.
That's
Like, if
disgusting.
you've been taking the Ravens unders like I have, it's free money every week. And they're set at like 35. They still go under.
It's so bad. So bad. And like every game they play, they get 5 new injuries. And they got nothing. They have nothing. This team they're in the playoffs and they might win the division still, depending on whatever the Bengals result is.
No. They are not gonna.
Even if Lamar plays at the Bengals, they are at home. Actually, no, they're at the Bengals. Yeah,
Since he's
they're
at home.
in the jungle. Yeah, they're just gonna get bounced whoever they play.
in the
And
jungle.
this is a team. If I'm one of the higher seeds and you can do some chicanery of whether you win or lose, I'd try to line up to play the Ravens.
Yep.
They just look
Unless
like
you
they're
have them in the
They're
playoffs.
badly coached. they have nothing on offense. Zero.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is like they play good defense and they can shorten the game on you. But like if I'm Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, I don't give a rip about that. Like
Yeah.
shorten the game and we'll just beat you 20-0 instead of 40-0.
I agree. All right. Who do you think the final four teams are going to be coming in start of week 18?
What do you mean final four?
Final four and
Like
like
in
the
playoffs?
championships rounds. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. But like overall,
Mhm.
I still think Buffalo, because they haven't looked dominant this season, makes me like them more. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hang on to that take. I'm a little bit worried about if the seeding holds up and they play the Bengals in the second round. That does scare me a little bit,
Yeah, that'd be
but I don't see the Bengals making a second run, and I don't see the Chiefs getting beat. I forgot. I have a great take actually. I believe in the Chargers again.
Oh
You just
no.
skipped over that game.
Oh
Because
no.
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Phillies this year. Like they've missed the playoff. They found a way to miss the playoffs every year. And this year they found a way to get in. And now that they're in, they can play loose. Like look how easy that game was this weekend.
Yeah, they creamed the Rams.
So let me pull up the playoff picture real quick. And I can sell myself on this. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you are.
Okay.
Which is
I
the
was
worst.
thinking
Which
about
is I
that,
can't
like,
believe I'm saying it.
like Sunday night when I was going to sleep, and I was like, I might like Chargers. And it's a total switch. It's like the 49ers last year. And it's not like they even look good against the Colts.
No, they look terrible against the
And
Colts.
they rarely take care of business. But I don't know, man.
There's some about them. Yeah, there's just some.
So, get the Jags in the first round.
It's because it's Herbert.
Yes. But like they have everyone healthy. Like Keenan Allen missed half the year.
Yep.
Doug Williams was hurt.
No,
a
they're
lot.
getting healthy at the right time. Joey Bosa's
The
coming
whole
back.
squad is healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So let's see. You get the Jags in the first round, beat them, and you probably go to Kansas City or Buffalo.
Yes.
If they go to Kansas City, I think they beat them.
In Kansas City. Didn't they already play twice this year?
Yep, and they lost both times.
Uh-oh. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's hard
I
to
think
beat a
they
team
them.
3 times.
So if the seeding, I don't think they win in Buffalo though. So I'm just going, and I don't know what's going to happen with games because of last night. So I'm just going to play it as the seeding holds like it is right now. I'll take the Chargers and the Bills
Nice. Bold. Bold
in the
take.
AFC.
I like it. All right. And then NFC?
NFC, I'll just go chalk with Eagles Niners.
Okay. I'm going in the NFC. I guess that wouldn't really work because of the seedings. So I was gonna go Bucks Niners, but they'd have to play second round.
So
So
the
they-
Bucks will get probably the Cowboys
Yeah, and
in
then
the first round.
and then they play the Niners, unless the Eagles somehow fall off, and they'd have to play the Eagles first round.
So the Packers would play the Niners. Oh wait, but I just talked myself into the Packers beating the Niners. All right, I can only have one bold take. So we'll go Bills, Chargers, Eagles, 49ers.
Yeah, I think it's NFC. It has to be Niners, Eagles. It's not like you're worried about the Vikings. Tampa's just scary because of Tom. And the Cowboys, surprisingly enough, they've had the best record in the NFL against over 500 teams.
They look just as good as the Eagles on the 49ers.
Ugh, that's a scary. It's Micah Parsons. Trayvon Diggs can always get an interception. And That's gonna be an interesting team in the playoffs, and it's gonna be a lot on Dak's shoulders. It's all gonna be if Dak can
Mhm.
play really well, and
I believe in Mike McCarthy failing.
yeah, that's really
That's what I
the
believe.
better bet. So I'm gonna go not Eagles Niners too. I just think they're the best teams. I am kind of doing the flip with you with the Chiefs because they haven't been covering. They've been looking sloppy, but
Mhm.
getting things done. Um, I'm going Chiefs. And now this is interesting because I don't want to go chalk on both sides with Chiefs Bills, but the Chargers they are interesting, but I can't do it. I can't go. They just personally, it would hurt my
Yeah. Oh, I
soul.
know.
Um, I would love to see Chiefs Bengals again. I don't know how that would work with the
Mhm.
seating. Actually, no, that'd be perfect with the seating.
That would work.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are still red hot right now. They were up at the end of whatever that means. They were up at the end of the Monday night game, and I think they're the team to beat. And we've been saying that on the pod for the past couple weeks. They're
Yeah.
hot right now.
Yeah. I mean, they've taken care of the Chiefs. Obviously, we don't know what would happen last night, but at home, there's definitely a good chance that they would have beaten the Bills.
Oh yeah,
Um, so I think there is a legitimate argument to say that they are the team to beat the AFC. They're the
all right,
defending champs, first of all.
yeah, defending
They're the
AFC
hottest
champs.
team. So,
So that's
an
that's
argument there.
the wise Final Fours come back from us. So just to recap,
Let's wait until we can reassess once the playoff picture is set.
all right, once it's all right. Well, at the start of the playoffs, we'll do a whole
Right.
predictor
do a
on
bracket.
every game. Yeah. All right. Well, now that Christmas has passed, the NBA season has almost officially started for all the casuals out there, and it's been a pretty interesting season so far. We're halfway through it, pretty much. And just to get a little recap of what's going on, is that from I don't remember last time we did a little recap on the NBA, but the Nets were probably pretty bad when we were talking about them, and now they're second in the league again.
Yeah.
KD is looking like the MVP. Kyrie is
12 in a
hasn't
row.
Yeah, Kyrie just hasn't had drama in months, so that's a positive when it comes to Kyrie. And once KD has gotten healthy, other players on the team have gotten healthy too. I don't really know how Ben Simmons is doing, but I'm sure it doesn't even matter.
Fine.
Yeah, he's
He's
doing
not
fine
playing that
enough.
many minutes per game, I don't think.
26 minutes, 8 points a game. Not great.
I mean, if that's what they need him to do, though,
Yeah,
then
that's what they need him to do.
it's fitting in very well. What are his other numbers?
6 and 6.
Oh,
So 8, 6 and 6. It's really not great.
that's not great at all.
No. And it's funny when you do watch them, it's like he's just kind of standing around out there. And every time he gets the ball, he immediately passes it. So, but 12-game winning streak, they're getting it done. And they've immediate turnaround from what we had at the beginning of the year. Speaking of a little turnaround, the Wiz, the Zards, winners of 5 in a row.
It's the Rui show.
I love it. I love the
And
Rui
hot.
show. Rui. So
I mean,
past
if this actually turns into something, then I'm excited. Like they just rolled the Bucks in Milwaukee.
for what it's worth,
So,
twice in a row.
Giannis didn't play.
Oh, he didn't. Oh no, they play
But
again today. Not twice in a
is
row.
Giannis out right now? Or was he just
I
hurt for that game?
I think he was just hurt for that game. I didn't know that he was out. I didn't even know he didn't play this game, to be honest.
The sleeper on the Wizards is DeLon Wright. They're like 7-1 when he plays.
Yeah, I remember
Also
seeing him
fit.
when I went to a game. He's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like
I wanted him off the
NBA.
court towards the end though. It was crunch time and he was still just chucking up shots. I needed him off.
No,
But
he's not your scorer.
no, he's
Uh,
not. He's not a
he
scorer at all.
plays with grit.
Where's he
All the
from?
cliches.
Oh,
I have
Atlanta.
no idea.
From
I watched the
Atlanta.
game the other night. And I was like, I don't even know who this guy is.
No, so he's what? He was a first round pick in 2015. So he's old. He was on the Hawks. I don't know where did he go to college. Um, why doesn't it say where he went to college?
Utah.
Nice. So yeah, but I mean, he has been playing decent whenever he gets out there, and he moves the ball, which is what they need. They need some
Mhm.
guy to move the ball around because
Yeah,
Beal
bit of
doesn't do it.
a spark plug.
Yeah, Beal doesn't do it, and Kyle Kuzma's not doing it. Porzingis isn't doing it, and Porzingis has been on a tear lately. He got Player of the Month this
Mhm.
past week, and he's averaging 22 points a game. He's fun. He's really good.
It's fun.
He's a
When he's
fun
good,
wizard,
he's one of the most fun guys to watch.
definitely.
There's
Uh,
just like something missing with him.
with him, yeah, there's.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's just the like
Factor,
the
I guess.
playoff pedigree, really. Like, that's what he's
He
missing.
being soft too.
Yeah, a little bit. I can definitely see that.
It's not even that he strikes me like he's soft.
Well, he's next to Beta Beal, so talk about soft.
And
I-
Beal, like this happens every year when Beal goes out and then they win like 5 games in a row. It's lit like this is not. I would be excited, but this happens every year.
No, the
It happened
streak
when
is
John Wall was on the team. Like he would go out and they'd win 5 in a row and be like, "Oh, is the team better without John Wall?"
well, and the streak, like the Wizard streaks, it's like they go on 5-game winning streaks and they lose 12 in a row, and then they,
Yeah.
then they win, 8 in a row, and they lose 7 in a row. It's why they're picking at the 10th pick every year,
every single
or
year.
the 14th pick. They just
They were
need.
fun to watch the last few nights, I guess.
They
I
had-
watched the
yeah.
Suns game. That was the first game that I really sat down and watched, and they were
I-
fun to watch.
I was at the 76ers game, and that was real fun. The 6-point game could have easily gone to overtime at the end, or not even 6-point, 5-point, and there was a lot of energy in there with the Wizards, and a
Mhm.
lot of people coming out. They should be tanking right now. That's my fear.
I know, it's
It's like
like,
they.
what is this team gonna do?
No,
Like,
it's
even
not
if
gonna
you
do
get into
anything.
The playoffs, you're getting bounced in the play-in, or you're getting rolled by the Celtics or the Nets in the first round.
It's one of those situations where it's like the team can just make the playoffs to say they can make the playoff. It's kind of like my Pats right
Yep.
now. It's like and luckily with the NBA, you have a lot longer than the Pats do to tank. But try to get up there, try to get Wimby. You've been picking in the 14th spot all this time. Kyle Kuzma doesn't even want to be there. He's an asset to a lot of other
Please
teams.
trade Kuzma.
And I like Kuzma. I think Kuzma's a
I
fun
do
wizard.
too.
But you got to trade him because he doesn't want to be there and he's not going to resign. So trade him all you can. It's the best market for him right now. And, get rid of Barton and Monte Moore, all the old heads. Just let Rui and Denny, Corey, Kispert just brick a bunch of
Kispert's
shots.
actually had a decent year.
He's played a lot.
Shooting 40% from
He shoots.
Gary, get out of here.
He gets a lot of threes, and he's a professional 3-point shooter. And he gets a lot of minutes, though, which I thought was interesting.
He does, yeah. And I'm gonna guess that he doesn't play great defense.
No, he really doesn't. He doesn't do
Someone
any
who hasn't
assists,
watched a lot of games.
doesn't get any assists, doesn't get any rebounds.
Yeah.
He's out there to shoot. He's out there
Yep,
for them to
which
shut
is
them down in the
fine.
corner.
I mean, I don't know what they expected when they drafted him. Other than
No, it's
that.
exactly what they expect. They should have expected. Rui's the key, I think. Because
Yeah.
I hate the kid's 24 years old. There's a lot, and him, Denny, all these guys are already labeled as bust, and it's like they're 24. Denny's 22 years old, and
Yeah, he was 19 when they drafted him.
yeah, so there's no time anymore in the NBA in any professional
Mhm.
sport for a team to develop and a guy to develop. So it's not like they don't have pieces. They've been drafting these guys for years. So just trade all the old vets, get whatever picks you can, and add Wembanyama to this.
Yeah. I mean, that's not gonna happen.
No, it's not because the ball will never fall their way, or they won't have enough losses to compete with teams like the Hornets and the Pistons, who have 10 wins.
Yeah.
What is-
What's up with? I thought the Hornets were like taking a step forward, but I guess not.
No, they're garbage. They might be the worst team in the league. They're terrible.
I don't know who would be worse.
No, it's like the
I
beside
mean,
for
Utah
especially
was supposed to be.
especially for a team that was designed to actually win basketball games. Like the
Mhm.
when you talk about the Thunder, the Spurs, the Rockets, uh, the Pistons, and the Magic, like they were not structured to win basketball games. They were structured to lose basketball games.
Mhm.
So the Hornets are right there with them, and it's not even
And the
like
Wizards were too for a little bit,
yeah, they were. And then after this game,
12 and
this
21.
now this little win streak, and they're right back in mediocrity. So it's like they're kind of digging their own grave with this, but
I know.
what are you
I
gonna do?
mean, they're fun to watch right
Yeah, they
now.
are, and it's fun. It's fun when they win, so it's good for the city.
Just at what cost?
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of the Jazz, they're now 19-20. They're no longer the best team in the league.
This
They
fell off quick.
fallen back down to earth a little bit, but they're still the thing about them, and the thing that why they were doing so well is that they're just there's no really there's not really any selfish guys on the team. They're just all
Mhm.
looking for open shots and playing good basketball, and it was never going to be enough. It's still going to be interesting to see if they trade all their guys or not. They're still in the 10th spot, and the 10th,
Probably should.
the 10th, and the 15th seed, or 15th, sorry, 5 seed, have the same amount of wins right now. The Kings are 19-16, and the Jazz are 19-20. So they're still not out of it. The West is tight, but I think they should too.
Shocker.
Yeah, honestly. So throughout I mean, we haven't talked about any basketball. So last night, in the midst of the worst night he probably could have possibly done it, but Donovan Mitchell um scored 71 last night. I don't know if you saw that or not. I'm getting you from your
That's pretty
facial reaction.
impressive.
Yeah. He scored 71 points last night, 22 of 34, 7 3-pointers, 11 assists, 8 rebounds in an overtime win against the Bulls. The Cavs have been, I don't know if you've kept up with the Cavs at all, but they've been one of the most fun teams in the league. They have so many different, like they have a great front court, a great back court, and the only issue is that it always comes down to Donovan Mitchell at the end.
Mhm.
And it's always him taking the last couple shots, and it's normally pretty easy
But that's what they
to
needed,
guard.
right?
Yeah, and that is what they need. That's why they
They
traded
needed
for him.
a him.
Yeah, and they're proving that they're getting it. They got him. 71 points. Third,
The box score is so funny.
yeah, it's a
12,
crazy
4,
box score.
21, 71, 10, 19.
So he is the what I thought was insane. Since 2000, there's been 3 players to score 70 plus. All 3 of them were point guard or shooting guards, and all
Sure.
3 of them were picked first round, pick 13.
Oh,
Kind of weird.
Kobe, Booker, and
Yep, and D
Mitchell.
Mitch. Yeah, weird stat there, but
I mean, the fact they're all shooting guards is not very surprising.
no, not at all. It's in the name, shooting guards.
Yeah.
Also, some historic stat lines coming up. I'm guessing you saw the Luka Doncic 60, 20, and
Yeah,
10.
we never talked about that.
No, we never got
And
to.
the only reason that was more impressive, I guess, because of the other stats that he put up and not just points, but they were down. What was it, like 9 points with 30 seconds left?
Something crazy like that, and they
It was
completed
ridiculous.
the throw it at the backboard, grab your own rebound,
Yeah.
immediately tied for overtime type of scenario. And those you rarely see ever work out. So that's the first stat line to ever do it, and it's pretty nuts. Like that's an insane. That's like a LeBron type of stat line to put up. Or like I mean, clearly it's a stat line that we've never seen it before. So it's he's already in the record books, already in the all time greats, and he's gonna end up.
He's MVP, right?
Yeah, I think if they become a top seed, it's funny. Right now, it's Jokic again.
Is ahead of
Tatum and Luka.
look at Tatum's numbers. Jokic, I guess, is averaging basically a triple double.
Yeah, his stats are nuts, and it's right now. I think the
Luka is
let's-
too, though.
No, that's true. They've all
34, 9-9.
yeah, they've both been playing out of their minds. So it's going to be an interesting race. I mean, still have a bunch of games to go, so either one of them could
Oh, yeah,
either
Tatum's
fall off
poop
or
compared to those guys.
he actually, I mean, compared to those two, he's just on a different level. And it's because neither of those guys' teammates are near the level of Tatum's teammates, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Like given
The
Tatum
I'm worried that the Mavs are just wasting.
it's like early LeBron. He's stuck on those Cavs
It
teams.
is.
He's stuck on a team of nobodies right now. Like literally to the
Yeah,
point where they
and
need
like they
Kemba
made
Walker
the
off the
move
bench.
to get Porzingis a few years ago, and now like
And it didn't really work out. Now they're stuck
that
with
didn't work
Dinwiddie.
out. Last year they made the run, but I don't know. Yeah, you need
No,
another star.
no, your second best player is Dinwiddie. You can't win a championship that
Yeah.
way.
You can't.
The Pelicans have been really good. They've been outstanding. He's been proving haters wrong. He's been not fat. I love to see it. I love to see healthy Zion. Like it's just he's such a
It's-
fun player to have in the league. And it's better when he's in it. Cuz he's actually living
as
up
fun
to
as
the
it
hype.
was to talk about him being fat, the NBA is definitely a much better place when he's playing every night and he's doing the things that he was said to be able to do.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun making fun of him eating Twinkies and Doritos on the couch, but it's more fun watching him slam dunk. That's why we were making fun of him. We wanted to see him out there,
Yeah,
and it's nice to see him out there and then be pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Warriors.
he just got hurt though,
Did he just get hurt?
out at least 3 weeks.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's a bummer.
What is it now? Hamstring.
Hamstring.
Oh god. Him and Anthony Davis. They just gotta stay on the court.
I know.
Speaking of which, the Lakers are just like,
Trash.
yeah, it's funny. They're just like,
LeBron has been good recently though.
he's been great. He's
And
been scoring
good
like,
is an understatement.
yeah, he's been really good recently. The Westbrook, the honeymoon of them, him having a good little stretch is pretty much over. He got 11 minutes last night, 2 points. They need to find they like it's the same story as it was earlier. They need to find better players around him. Like LeBron is putting up 30 a night, and his teammates are not even combining for 30.
It's literally like the old Cavs team. Like we said it with Luca, but now it's with LeBron again.
Yep.
Like,
And
he
it's-
has Anthony Davis, but we know what the issue is there. And Westbrook, from the start, no one expected it to work out, and shockingly, it didn't work out.
Now he's off the
So,
bench,
it's
and it
just
worked
him.
out for a little bit. Not
And
anymore.
Reeves.
Him and Reeves. Reeves has become
It's like the
his
only
Robin.
guy
Reeves is his little
who
Robin.
has a positive plus minus. Did you see that stat? Like,
Yes.
other than LeBron and
Yeah.
AD, he's the only guy.
And he's been it's actually
Positive
it's
on the
funny.
floor.
He's been really good actually. And it's like he could score a little bit more. He could shoot a little bit better. But he's been really good, and he finds ways for LeBron to get the ball. He finds ways for his teammates to get the ball, and it's just like he's playing with Dennis Schroeder and
He just doesn't look like a ball
Kendrick
player.
Nunn.
That's his
Reeves.
only downside. Yes.
Apparently, according to Google, his nickname is Hillbilly Kobe.
I love that.
No, that's great. But like Pat Bev needs to be off the team. Toscano Anderson, I don't know why they even signed him. Kendrick Nunn's nothing. Literally nothing.
They're all nothings.
Yeah, Troy Brown Jr.'s on this team. He starts sometimes too.
Mm.
All right. Other, I guess, like surprises. The Timberwolves. It was surprising in the regular season that it's not working out, but
Yeah.
it's an immediate. Rudy Gobert's garbage. We traded half our team for him, and he's bad. He doesn't work with Towns. He doesn't work with Edwards. It's really a mess.
I mean, I don't remember the episode, what we talked about. I'm pretty sure we said we didn't like it.
Oh no, we said we didn't like it. We said, but it seemed like a lot of people were saying, including us, that during the regular season they'd be fine because Rudy Gobert.
Right,
has been
yeah,
on
because
good
Gobert
regular
is so
season teams.
easily exposed in the playoffs,
But now he's been
yeah.
exposed well before that.
I mean, it never made sense.
The Pacers have still been pretty good. They're a fun team.
Smith.
Yeah, they got a really fun team. Jalen Smith's good. Buddy Hield, I mean, he's still on the team with Miles Turner, and they're real NBA vets. And Benedict Mathurin. I don't know if you were on him before the draft or not. I don't remember. Maybe you didn't say anything about him, but
I
he's
think I was kind of on him.
he's the guy out of Arizona, and he could get. He's comes off the bench and scores
He's
17
a
a game.
pure scorer.
He's good. He's
and a
really
freak
good.
athlete.
No, and he's got a great mindset. Earlier, before the draft, he has said that he had LeBron James had to prove that he was better than him. And when they went up against each
Yeah,
other,
that's
and when he
right.
went up against each other, he beat LeBron. He beat LeBron in all
Yeah.
statistical categories and in the game. So him and Halliburton are a great pairing. They're a fun team with Rick Carlisle. They got a bright future ahead of them.
I hope so. That's another city where it's like it's good if Indiana basketball is good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Same with more so with college, but I guess in the NBA too.
And then you have the Bulls and the Raptors, who right now have been lingering towards the bottom, and
Gosh.
yeah, looking for a little blow up there from either of those teams. What else? I mean, everything else is pretty safe. Suns have had a weird season so far. They've gotten blown out a couple times. They've been the 1 seed for a little bit.
Yeah, they're not the regular season kings anymore.
No, it's funny. Everyone in the West is good.
Yeah.
Like we've only been saying this for a couple years, but everyone in the West is good.
It's another year in the NBA where it feels wide open.
It does. It really
Which I
does.
love.
Because come trade deadline, the Bucks are gonna get better. They're gonna get more pieces. Celtics, they gotta find some other guy off the bench, which is kind of weird to think about. But Cavs great. 76ers they're the 5th seed right now, and I still think their roster is pretty good.
Mhm.
The Knicks are mingling at the 8th seed. Heat are at 7th. So there's a lot of good teams in this,
I mean,
and that's all
1
East
and
teams.
8 is separated by 6 games. That's not significant.
No, and in the West is by 4 games. 4.5 games.
Yeah,
The 8th seed
that's
is
pretty
behind.
wild.
It's a great year in the NBA. A lot of fun, competitive teams, and I'm excited to just keep it going. I'm excited for this playoffs. See what actually I'm most excited about the trade deadline because it's always, no matter what actually happens, it's always some crazy, rumors and
Rumors
stuff
are
flowing around.
out of control.
Yep. All right. Well, college corner, then we wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
All right. I have nothing, I believe. Besides, I've been talking about the Amani Bates game.
What about your transfer class? Oh yeah, how'd that go?
They played what was it? Oh, they're playing the Vanderbilt right now. So Eastern
Did
Michigan
they beat Amani Bates?
played. Yeah, they did. But
Okay.
Amani Bates the reason why I thought it was such a great matchup to begin with, Amani Bates dropped 36, 6-2 against us.
Jeez.
Gigi Jackson had 24 and 9.
Okay.
So it was a duel. It was a duel. The Gamecocks came out on top though by 10. They're holding him with Vanderbilt right now. It's the first half, and there's 6 minutes left in the half, and they already have 24. So that's big for them.
I mean,
And
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt is 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's
Why didn't you just say the score?
well, because it's 24 is big for them in the first half. Sometimes I don't know if they're gonna get to 30. So with 6 minutes left, it's pretty. Seems like they're having a good game. And I'm not gonna
Okay.
live commentate it, but looks like Chico Carter's doing well. All right, but other than that, I guess transfer. I didn't really see any big transfer stuff. Oh, I almost skipped the bowl game. Didn't even
Yeah.
talk about it. The Gator Bowl was good. It was a fun game. Didn't end the way I wanted it to, but a lot of guys out. We had 1 tight end on the league or on the roster, but they played their heart out. They played all the way through. The defense. I mean, the offense kind of sputtered out in the second half. 8 rushing yards in the second half is not how you're gonna win a football game. Doesn't matter how much you're up by. It's kind of weird. It's not like they ran the ball a lot. Our leading back had 6 carries, so that was a little weird. But we're getting a new offensive coordinator in there. No offensive coordinator was out there to this game. Yeah, I think it was Beamer making the calls. And hopefully we get Rattler back. It doesn't look like we're getting Juice Wells back, but it was a good season. I can't have anything to complain about.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with bowl games. It's like if you win, it's awesome, but if you lose, it's like this doesn't ruin your season or anything.
No, still had a
Unless
successful
it's the
season.
playoff.
Yeah, and the refs have all the right to be complained about the final couple drives, but when you have 2 pick sixes as a defense, you should always win the game.
You root for the same teams at the college and NFL level.
What do you mean?
Like it's the same team.
Just no,
Like you always score on special teams.
yeah, I just always have
Offensive
defense.
coordinator
Yeah.
has shit for brains.
You have a good point. And there's always some way I can blame the refs.
Yeah,
Some-
you love
some
your
way.
head coach.
Yeah.
You get pulled back in every other week, and then the very next week you're in tears.
You have a great
Same
point.
thing.
You have a great point.
You haven't noticed that?
No,
I think
I've
we've talked about that before.
I've noticed it a little bit, but when you spell it out like that, yeah, they're very similar on the teams I root for. And Rattler, I still don't know what to do with him. He had a great couple throws this game. Like some of those were just absolute dimes. So
It's in there somewhere.
it's in there. He needs to play though. If he's out there listening, he needs to play college ball. He's not ready for the pros. He's not going to get drafted high or a chance to start. So why not start where you can be competitive?
And he'll make money.
Yeah, and he'll make money. I think he's had the most or the second highest NIL deal anyways for quarterbacks. So just re-up, get what you could get, steal all of our money, and be on with your life.
Well said.
Thank you.
We're
But
on the nail.
yeah, successful season. That's how I'm gonna end it. Good. Congrats to Notre Dame.
Well, one of us had to win a bowl game.
Yeah, it's true.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl was
Mayo Bowl,
not as epic as you could have imagined it to be.
a kick fest.
It sucked.
It was a kick fest.
It was the worst game ever.
What was up with starting Billy first? Can we just talk about that?
Got in trouble.
So he
I think
doesn't
he
get to
missed-
play the first
They
run.
sat him for the first drive, yeah. And Billy looked really good. I think Billy might be better. He's quicker.
Billy did look good. It's
You know
funny.
him right- I mean, I don't know why they went for it on that first drive, but like, what? And then Talib's first drive, he threw an interception in the end zone, and then he threw another interception later in the game, which was awful.
They kept talking about him getting declaring for the draft. And
It was outrageous.
and every time I looked up, he's just sailing past players and throwing interceptions. And I tweeted out, I think, and it wasn't out of any spite or anything. I was just like, Talia's not getting drafted. Like, let's not
No,
pretend
he's
like
not.
he's.
And
gonna
he's
get
also
drafted.
small, so like even if he was really really good, there'd
Yeah,
be
he's
questions about
5'11".
his size.
Yeah.
So
Do you think he'll be back next year for you?
he is. The inside scoop is he'll be back.
Oh, okay.
I'd be shocked if he's not.
Well, that's good.
Even if he's not, like I like Billy. The game itself, NC State, they're a good defensive team. I think they were on their third or fourth string quarterback, so we took care of business against them. Didn't let them score a touchdown. The pick at the end by Jacorian Bennett was a nice way to. I think he's gone after this year, so that was a nice way to cap off his college career because he's been a good defensive player for us. And the Mayo job was a little bit anticlimactic.
The big
until
hat.
Loxley took off his hat,
Yeah.
and they got him again.
The big hat was cheating. He tried to get away
Well,
with
the
it.
big hat, it's also like knows the guy. It's a local company. Actually, I think it's Brian Robinson's cousin.
Oh, really?
'Cause I think he said that when he wore the big hat. So yeah, he's just trying to promote the local brand. That's all. I don't
He
think
just
he was deliberately cheating.
he was just trying to cheat. He didn't want mail on his head.
But anyway, it was fun. Like it's fun to win bowl games. You do like a little trophy presentation and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun for the
You got an
guys.
MVP and everything.
And yeah, and you finish 8-5.
Hmm.
So that's nothing to snooze at. I've been kind of a hater. I don't want to be a hater anymore. I want to really support the team.
Just want to have some fun out there.
Like, just don't get rolled by Penn State next year.
Yeah.
That's all I
You got to
ask.
put up some points. Okay,
Yeah,
that's all you
just
can ask
score a
for.
touchdown.
Yeah.
But we got a really nice transfer class. Offensive lineman from Miami, that's good. Safety from Miami, who's like all ACC. Receiver from Florida International. So I think the team is going to be solid again next year.
Nice.
I think they
Look at
reload
us.
on at receiver. It's offensive line I'm worried about. That's why that transfer was big. But
The tree.
decent enough recruiting class. Yeah, just one of these years they're going to catch lightning in a bottle. That's my thing.
That's all you need.
There's no reason not to have hope going into next year.
No,
this,
and
like we said this at the end of the last season, this is what we love about college football.
mm-hmm. No, there's
You
always
can sell yourself on anything.
yeah, because they're all high school players. You can just like,
Yeah.
like this guy's the best. You can be like, this guy's the best in the DMV area. It's because 5 of them are the best in the DMV area. Just pick a position.
My Maryland hot take though, and this is something that just kind of popped into my mind while I was mowing my lawn.
Those
I
are the best
think
type
that
ideas.
in a hypothetical situation, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have left the ACC because I know that the money was there in the Big. But if they were in the ACC in the Atlantic Division like they were, I think this season they would have had a legit shot to win the conference.
Oh yeah. All you would have
Given that there
all you
was
would
a
have do is
down
beat.
Clemson.
Yeah, you would have beat Clemson.
Wake was good. NC State was good.
Beat NC
And
State.
you would have had, if you beat 2 of those 3 teams, you would win your division, and then you'd play. Who did Clemson play in the championship game?
It was UNC.
Carolina.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying they clear like the talent across the board for Maryland could line up with any of those teams aside from Clemson. Clemson was bad. So, my final take, the one that I tweeted was, if they played Clemson at home, if they didn't have to go to Clemson, if they got that as a home game,
Mm-hmm.
I think they win the conference.
Yeah. I mean,
So, that made me
no one
feel a
ever
lot
knows.
better.
Yeah, that's a cool way to think about it. No, that
But
yeah.
they're not in there, so
Yeah, they're not. How's the basketball team doing?
Mm-mm.
Not good. What happened?
We had another catastrophe.
Didn't you have a 30-point scorer?
I don't.
You don't think so?
We had 30 points as a team,
Oh,
barely.
all right.
So
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
never
I don't know
mind.
what to say.
Never mind. Oh,
No.
no, Michigan had a 30-point scorer against you. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrendous.
I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know what to think anymore.
Just wait till next game. Get
I
Rutgers.
guess, yeah.
Yeah, that just
I'm
throw
going
it
to the
away.
Rutgers game
In Rutgers.
in Rutgers, yeah.
Nice.
So behind enemy lines, we'll see.
That'll
And
be
Rutgers
exciting.
just beat Purdue, so it's a perfect
Ooh.
letdown spot.
That'll
That's how I'm selling myself back.
that'll be exciting.
Yeah, so they just have nobody that is like a consistent scorer. They have no big guys.
Yeah.
They have one.
That sounds
Julian
like
Reese
sounds
is-
like
oh,
my
but
team.
he plays like a bum. They have nobody that can come in and relieve him. So when your one big guy sucks, that you just get beat up down low every game, and every game's gonna be the same.
Trust me, I get it. When Gigi Jackson's not playing or he needs a rest, it's not looking pretty. All right.
So I don't know what to do.
Wait till next game. 46. This
It's
is
year
what-
0.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, that's true. Year 0. I forgot it was year 0 for both of us.
Mhm.
It's also, I mean, a bad way to start 2023, but it's just the beginning. Just the beginning that we still got till March.
My New Year's Day sucked.
We got to talk about how the college football playoffs happened during the ball drop. They missed a
Yeah.
kick as the ball was dropping. What a horrific
Yeah,
way
we
to
didn't even talk
start.
about
No,
the
either
college
one.
football game.
What a horrific way to start if you are an Ohio State fan.
Yeah. That kick wasn't even close.
No, if I'm an Ohio State fan, I'm just like, cancel the new year. It's still 2022. Just cancel it. We're just gonna keep going
And like
again.
they were already so down bad about the getting destroyed by Michigan at home, just to like give
Just a,
themselves a
yeah,
chance again, and they were up 2 touchdowns
so
against
so
Georgia.
bad. What a choke job.
I feel I'm the empathy train still. I really feel bad for that kicker.
He. If I am Ohio State, if I go there, I never want to see that kid kick for me again.
No,
No, ever.
you probably quit football and move.
I think I would. I'd never
I
kick
would
another
too.
football.
That would destroy my self confidence.
Yeah, I would never be.
His
I
name
cause,
is Ruggles too.
yeah. His name is
Bad
Ruggles.
name.
I
It's
just
such
don't.
a kicker miss and a big spot name.
You are just never gonna be able to kick a football the same
No.
ever again. It could be at a
Okay.
completely empty field. You're never gonna be able to kick it the same way.
Oh. And it's not like he barely missed. It wasn't
No,
like
it wasn't close.
it looked good off the
He like
leg and
completely
just went in. It
collapsed.
was just
Yeah,
like he shanked it.
yeah. Well,
You hate to see that. And both of they were both amazing games.
oh yeah,
But both of the endings were terrible.
yeah. Definitely two bad
So,
endings.
but the Michigan, what happened? Like, the best
What
defense all year.
happened?
I mean, seriously, what did they give them 51 points?
Yeah,
They
I don't
probably
know.
went on like a 5-game stretch this year where they didn't give up 51 points combined. And then just get shredded by TCU, a team that you definitely have more talent than. It's embarrassing. But I'm happy for TCU. I really hope they beat Georgia.
I'm rooting so hard for TCU.
It's gonna
That's
be
why I
sorry.
wanted Ohio State, because they would actually be able to lose to TCU. I don't think Georgia can actually.
I don't know. I think there's a I'm believing in the magic. I think I'm going to bet TCU money line.
All right, I'm for
excited.
it. Yeah, I'm excited too.
Because
And
this
I
is,
love
I
Duggan.
think yeah, and Duggan wasn't even that good.
No, he didn't even have that good of a
That-
game.
That third quarter was possibly the most ridiculous football I've ever seen. It was just like touchdown after touchdown
Yeah.
after touchdown. And I was like, I thought that Michigan was going to win the game after TCU fumbled the one time.
Mhm.
And then it was like, oh, they get the ball back and they just score another 70-yard touchdown. It was so outrageous, but it was so much fun.
It was a great football game. Both of them were just a lot of offense, and that I feel like that's the one thing college football playoffs has had a lot. It's just been a lot of, at least it's been a lot of action. The defenses go away when it comes to college football
Oh,
playoffs
yeah.
time.
And I saw somebody tweet something like a college football writer. They said, this is why I'll always prefer college football to the NFL, which I don't agree with, but he said that third quarter, like, you never see something like that in the NFL. Where
Yeah.
both teams just go nuclear for like 10 minutes and you're like, whoa,
What just happened? Yeah.
Like 6 touchdowns in 5 minutes. You're like, what is going on here? But when college football at its best is what that game was.
I agree.
So that was good for the sport.
And we could recap some other bowl games when the championship comes. We'll take care of the rest of them.
USC.
Yeah, I get.
Good job.
Yeah,
That's
that's an
amazing.
ultimate one. I guess we could talk about that one too. That was terrible. I mean, your quarterback throws for 500 yards basically and 5 touchdowns, and you lose the game. That's
the Lincoln Riley special, though.
yeah, it really is. And it's
That's gonna
funny
be
that they're the
heavy.
same exact team as Ohio State or Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
same exact team. All right, well that does it. I hope this was enjoyable for the first podcast of 2023. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Enjoy your week. See everybody come Friday. I'll be in South Carolina. There'll be a new studio life from us. And hope we didn't mention at the beginning, but I hope you guys all enjoyed Chris's new mic because it sounds good to me. Nice.
It is.
All right, so we'll see everybody Friday. Enjoy your week. Thanks for listening.